Have you ever abused drugs and alcohol for long periods of time, been addicted to drugs and alcohol, or withdrawn from drugs and alcohol? Well, guess what? You have brain damage. It's called neurotoxicity, and it is not going away. It needs to be repaired. I know I did. I kicked dope dozens of times. I don't know if they call it dope anymore. We'll call it opiates. And I've withdrawn from booze so bad so many times that I couldn't even light a cigarette, that kind of stuff. So this isn't going to be a teaser video. I'm not selling a coaching program. I'm not a sponsor. I'm not sponsored or affiliated. I'm just trying to get information out that helped me. So you're going to know everything I took, how much I took by the end of it. And these are supplements that you've all heard of. It's just combining them creates a synergistic effect called a precursor that causes the body to act in a certain way that's beneficial depending on what you take and the dosage and the combination. So biohacking is what we're talking about here. If you've been sober for a while or not a while and you're still experiencing memory issues, fatigue, paranoia, irritability, impulse control, skin issues, digestive issues, it's probably because you damaged your brain and body. I know I did. I was using hard drugs, pillow to pillow, drinking my ass off for years, and then going through withdrawals. You're not going to get away with that. We're all going to need to repair our brains. So by the end of this video, like I said, you're going to know exactly what I took. Do me a favor. Subscribe, like, and comment. It helps. It's really rewarding to know you guys are enjoying the content, so let me know what else you'd like to hear about. All right, let's get into it. So, like I said before, there's taking supplements and then there's taking precursors. So let's do an example. Glutathione, and we will talk about that. So boosting glutathione is very important. It's the master antioxidant that runs tons of processes in the body related to detoxification, cellular repair, most specifically brain repair. But if you take that directly through an IV or through a liposomal form of oral pill glutathione, you're forcing your cells to uptake the glutathione. You don't know if they need that or if that's an invasive process. Whereas if you take a precursor, and I'll tell you how to do that, now it's there as your body needs it. It will take as much or as little as it needs to repair the damage that it finds throughout the body. And the longer you sit on that stuff, the more damage it finds to repair. The rest is excreted through urine. I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling people to take this stuff. I am going to tell you what I took, and I'll talk about the benefits. And I'm for sure definitely going to tell you that you probably need to do something because your brain is not going to be in good shape after abusing it that long. The first one, let's talk about NAD. I don't know, it's kind of the buzz. So Justin Bieber has done NAD IVs to fix his pleasure center damage from opiates when he was addicted. Joe Rogan does it for health purposes. Plastic surgeons use it in their office down in Beverly Hills after somebody gets surgery. They do an IV. It's proven to radically increase the speed of skin healing. It's given in celebrity rehabs. So like these rich people going to rehabs, dropping 50 grand a day, they're getting IVs. They're getting crazy drugs. So I want to talk about some of those today. NAD, you can think about it as like a communication molecule between the body. So every cell has this in it, and it's I'm going to butcher this, but whatever. Think about it as the way that cells can communicate in the body. As we age, or as you beat your brain up, then these NAD declines, and so the communication between cells starts getting messed up. You can have a skin cell starting to die, and your body can't send the proper nutrients because it's not getting communication. So it's like, okay, now you've got this skin lesion, or you're getting gray hair, or whatever. Longer explanation there. And so let's see, where was I there? So yeah, that's how to think about NAD. But when it's low, there's all kinds of problems with it. So there's two ways to take it. There's the IV, and those things are like ridiculous. They're like $1,000 a pop or something like that, and they're amazing. I mean, you literally feel what the IV is doing, but I'm not sure we're supposed to be doing that, forcing the body to take. It's pretty new, this concept of NAD and IV. So I don't know what that process is doing. I'm certainly not a doctor. I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not anything like that. But it doesn't seem right to take an IV that forces NAD increasing across your whole body. Now, there's two ways to do precursors, which I like much better. One of them is NR, and this is, there's NR and NMN. They both essentially are doing the same thing, but through totally different pathways. So NR is, I believe, from MIT, and then NMN is from Harvard, I think. I'm going to butcher that too. But anyways, they both increase NAD levels throughout the body, and you're going to have more energy that repairs oxidative damage from stress, from the toxins we take in through our air and our food and our water. It repairs cellular damage from drugs and alcohol, and you're going to feel younger and better. So you won't have an afternoon crash, and you'll know it's working after about 3 weeks on this stuff. You're going to take it and immediately feel energy. And after about a week or two, you're going to notice your eyesight is better. They've proven it can regrow severed optical nerves in mice. Think about that. You sever an optical nerve, take this stuff, and it regrows it. That's unbelievable. What else is it doing for the body? Okay? And so you'll notice the eye stuff. You'll also notice your skin gets better, and you'll notice more energy. So this is something that helps repair the damage done to the pleasure centers of the body. And so dopamine damage, overuse of the dopamine system that happens with drugs and alcohol is something that stays. And so it's hard to have mood control. It's hard to have get up and go. It's hard to have discipline. It's hard to find pleasure in everyday activities without stacking more and more stimulation on it. We're all going through that with technology and how the society is set up, but people that have brain damage from drugs and alcohol are experiencing that even more. And so it's pretty important to boost that one. The next one is called, and so the first week, I took a full gram, and then after that I backed off to a half gram. No, that's not true. I did 2 weeks a full gram, because in the study they've proven if you take a full gram for 2 weeks, your NAD levels are doubled, and they have proven that in numerous studies. After that I backed off to a half a gram, because I can tell less is still having the same effect, and it's not like super expensive, but it's also not really cheap, so why not make it last? So the next, gosh, I have dry mouth, I should have dealt with that, sorry. The next one is called TMG, that's trimethylglycine, and what that is that's there's a system in the body called the methylation system, and I don't really know exactly how it works, and I'm not going to try to explain it, but it has to do with energy processing and cellular turnover of energy, something like that. Point being is this system gets heavily exhausted by alcohol. Alcohol dominates the methylation system. And so just to clear it out, your body has to go through so much of that. Well, so does NMN. It doesn't exhaust it, but it does pull from a methyl group when you're boosting NAD. So that needs to be replenished. It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of people that don't take it, but it has so much of its own benefits, and it supports methylation that NMN needs to properly boost NAD. Why not? It's like 20 bucks a month for a huge bottle, super cheap, super safe. So it also helps muscle and tissue repair, and it improves energy and cognition. So you take this stuff, workouts are easier, you have more, you can just feel your blood flows better. Like, what's that doing to the brain? So that's not just something to aid NMN. I really like that supplement. The last that we'll talk about today, and I take a lot more than these three, but these are the three that I definitely will vouch for as far as the effects on the brain and what it's done to my discipline. All of a sudden, about 4 months after starting these things, I can force myself to work out. I can force myself to do that task at work that I've been putting off. I can finish the laundry. I changed that doorknob. Stuff, it felt easier to implement discipline. And that's a necessary thing. I mean, everybody that's successful is big on this discipline, but I don't think everybody that's successful that's big on discipline has had to come back from severe brain damage that alcohol and drugs do. So check these supplements out. The last one is boosting glutathione. I talked a little bit about that. Again, I do not think it's good to take a liposomal form of glutathione, which makes it highly bioavailable, or an IV of glutathione and force your cells to uptake this molecule. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem natural. The precursor for that is something called NAC and glycine. Now, these are two very common, very cheap molecules. NAC is used in hospital settings for Tylenol overdoses. So it is safe, it is tested, it is known. It's also recommended by psychiatrists to help people process psych meds better. It's really good at detoxing the lungs and the liver, really good for the brain. And so glycine, that's just I don't even know how to explain that because I've never actually looked into that. I take it with the NAC because the two of them together are a precursor to boost glutathione. And that's my single favorite. The most important for me is NMN, but my favorite is boosting glutathione because it is amazing. Like even the first time you take it, NMN takes 2 or 3 weeks to really get going. The first time you boost glutathione, it's obvious your body needed that. It's like somebody turns your whole brain up to 4K from 1080p, you know? Like your cognition is better, your mood is better. Then you stay on that stuff for a couple weeks, dude, your skin starts getting better. The coloring of your eyes is brighter. The whites are bright. You just feel better. So I recommend 600 milligrams NaC and then 1 gram of glycine to start. You take it at the same time. Those are synergistic and they work as a precursor to boost glutathione. Now, do that for like 3 or 4 days and then take a few days off. I'm also really big on pulsing antioxidants and things like that because you'll overuse your body's natural antioxidant system. I'm sorry, you will not use the natural antioxidant system because you're doing it with molecules and chemicals, so that system will get lazy. In my opinion, any sort of antioxidant taking should be burst 2 or 3 days, high doses, boom, get out of there for 3 to 5 days, let it recover. So, point being, glutathione's also going to give you more energy. It's also going to do brain repair. It's the master antioxidant that controls so many processes in the body directly related to cellular repair, which is what we're trying to do in the brain. It's not fair to deal with addiction. It's just, there's no self-pity because obviously it's a choice. I believe it's a choice. For a long time in my walk with sobriety, I did not believe it's a choice. There's a whole separate video for that about why I left that type of dogma. Won't get into that today. But what's not fair is that even after you quit it, 6, 18 months, 2 years, 10 years later, you still have damage and negative effects from these things that are affecting your behavior and the way you're interacting with the world that you might think is a psychiatric disorder. You might think, and by the way, I have a psychiatric disorder. This is not a replacement for meds. I take meds. I have not found a replacement for that, and I've tried hundreds of times to get off them. So, whole separate conversation. I want to make sure that this is an adjunct to those. If you're doing something like that, that is between you and your doctor. I have not been able to replace those. I'm very grateful for those. But anyways, so many problems that you could be dealing with, especially related to personal relations and professional career, because that's where drugs and alcohol hurt the most. They hurt the family and they hurt the job, the two things that really push your life forward or move your life backwards. You could be dealing with problems there from damage years ago that you didn't know was there. These things are safe, they're cheap, they're readily available. NMN there was a federal lawsuit to try to classify NMN as a drug because there were so many studies showing all the benefits that it had that pharma wants a piece of it. They just lost that. So you don't need to panic by it. It's available. Look into this stuff. Do your own research. There's probably going to be, people that disagree, don't agree. This is just my experience. That's it. And so hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me what else you'd like videos on. This is fun, rewarding. It's just trying to help people. So thank you guys and have a good day.